And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 353. Today is Thursday, February 28th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Today is a 10-ish day. Speaking of 10-ish, I want to give a heads up. Next week, we will start going to a later time, more afternoon, evening. We're going to test that out for a few weeks, see how everyone likes it. So we'll go more into detail on that tomorrow. Oh, yeah. But today's top stories, of course, I'm sure you have saw it. We'll be covering the New York Times breaking story of Facebook reportedly having a Facebook coin. You don't say. China's 10th crypto rankings. Wait until you see who is not in the top 10. Global demand for blockchain engineers, which is now up 517% in a year. Thai SECs and their list of suitable cryptos to do ICOs and trading with. Square Bitcoin's success so far since they started implementing Bitcoin on their platform. And last but not least, a fake crypto project that raised $20 million. Wow. A lot of news going on, but before we get started, do we have a cryptic coin winner from yesterday?
Yes, our cryptic coin winner from yesterday, an oldie but goodie, Leroy Forbes.
Leroy, what's been going on?
Shout out to him. Actually commented on our question, which was about Litecoin and their partnership with Glory Kickboxing. He actually said that Bitcoin is his favorite, and any partnerships that Bitcoin has will be favorable for the mainstream. So shout out to your answer, Leroy. We'll be sending those free cryptic coins tomorrow.
That's funny. Leroy must have known he was winning. You were first on the chat, it looks like, this morning.
Yeah.
What's going on, Leroy? Tim Cottrell, I think I pronounced that right. Jizzy Mac, Cornelius, Kevin, Tonio from the UK, Tessa, PFC Wells going on, Trek, Cornelius, Donald, Tessa, Madam Crypto, hola, hello. Oh, that's right. Smash that like and share button. Let's get this algorithm going. It's going to be a very good show today. What's going on, Tommy Brown?
Oh, yeah.
Top story, New York Times. Facebook reportedly shopping Facebook coin to crypto exchanges.
We did it.
We won. Hey, listen.
We won.
It's happening before our eyes.
We did it.
Listen, this is amazing. Facebook is, quote, hoping to succeed where Bitcoin failed. Wow. Shots fired early this morning.
We won, man.
With this highly secretive cryptocurrency project, a New York Times article published today, February 28th, argues, citing multiple anonymous sources who spoke on the condition of anonymity. The Times pieces together the alleged contours of the project, which will reportedly aim to integrate cryptocurrency payments into its messaging services. Okay, none other than the Gentlemen of Crypto. We have already said this. When all of the bans started happening, the advertising bans on Facebook, Google, YouTube, and all that, the first thing we said is we need to find this old video too. We were like, they're just trying to delay it from spreading on their platforms without them having their own coin. We kept saying that. Mark Zuckerberg even came out and said they're not planning on getting any coin. We referenced the fact that Facebook all of a sudden had a lot of executives, including their PR executive, go over to Coinbase. They have multiple executives go over to Coinbase, and they have some of the Coinbase executives come over to Facebook, and they were basically doing this cross-platform working where they send some of their best to go work for them and learn, and vice versa with Coinbase. We said the only reason Facebook and Coinbase would do that is if Facebook were to launch a coin, or if Facebook were planning to actually buy Coinbase, or at least do some type of partnership with them. Yep. And it looks like we have our answer here. It was the coin route. What's going on with this story? This is crazy.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just Facebook. That's the craziest thing about this. It also says some of the world's biggest internet messaging companies, such as Telegram and Signal, which we've discussed, they're rolling out cryptocurrencies. Right. But Facebook looks like they're jumping on the bandwagon at this point, simply because, and in my opinion, they want the crowd that they have there, the billions of people that they signed up on Facebook to use their coin. They could have
went for Coinbase. Yeah, they could. Why do you lie about it? We already know.
We already know
makes
it's coming.
Sense.
And then it's crazy. It's led, the crypto project is actually led by David Marcus. If you know him, he is an ex-PayPal president, which we've discussed before, that all the smart people from PayPal actually like Bitcoin and like cryptocurrencies. He's went another route. I'm sure he's getting that bag at Facebook with launching his crypto project. But they've reportedly employed over 50 engineers to develop his cryptocurrency. A further source told the newspaper that the importance of keeping the project under wraps is such that the relevant team has been given an office in a separate keycard access to keep the details private from other employees. Look, people,
you're doing crypto wrong
if
already.
I walked to the office and there was a door I couldn't go into, and then there was just secretly these guys walking into there every day, you could pretty much figure out, okay, they're building something big, and if crypto is the big wave right now, that's what they're working on. So they actually, you know, at this point, they've actually developed, you know, with 50 developers, their own cryptocurrency, Facebook Coin, which, you know, they're probably integrated sometime, they said December 2019. So Q4 was when we actually discussed a lot of big things happening in the price movement. And I think if they integrate their own cryptocurrency and you have to use your dollars to purchase it or use Bitcoin to purchase it, that'll be big for the space.
Right.
So shout out to them for basically saying what we've said was going to be true for the last 3 years, making us look good. But you're not slick, Facebook. We saw this coming.
I highly doubt they'll use Bitcoin to buy it because, I mean, they might not have a choice. I get what you're saying. But just to start, I mean, they're saying Facebook is hoping to succeed where Bitcoin failed. How has Bitcoin failed? Like,
when did it fail?
Again, this is the problem with some new companies is not that they're trying to do something as well that's already being done with Bitcoin, but it's also like if they're throwing shots at Bitcoin, that should tell you everything you need to know about the coin. Because a lot of the companies are actually good companies that do very well. Let's say some of the first privacy or some of the bigger privacy ones, Monero and Zcash. When they talk about Bitcoin, they don't say anything negative. They just say they don't have a privacy feature yet. We added something with the privacy feature, right? It's just something different. They're not saying, well, it's been Bitcoin is failing because that right there always says from a technical perspective, you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to cryptocurrency. Yeah. Which means you actually don't know what you're talking about when it comes to this industry and the system. Unless you do know what you're talking about and you're saying things like this for your own nefarious reasons. But secondly is they have a secret room with 50 developers working. That's not what cryptocurrency is about. It's about having open source projects, being decentralized, allowing other people to see your work, being transparent, allowing people to verify things. I mean, it's based on a trusted system of algorithms, basically. So if you have 50 people working on your algorithm in the private room that you don't ever plan on sharing, why should we trust it?
Why should we trust it?
It sounds like you have a backdoor to your program. So we start using your magnificent, novel, one-of-a-kind financial system, Facebook Coin or JP Morgan Coin, and then one day I decide, hey, I don't want to spend my money on this presidential candidate or whatever, or either one of them. You say, well, we're going to freeze your accounts or we're going to take your money back. Like, you have the ability to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something from a technical perspective people need to understand when they hear cryptocurrency. If Facebook owns it, if JP Morgan, one of these guys own it, they control your money. They can hit a switch or tap a button on a computer and you don't have your money any longer. So
and
that's crazy.
They even discussed that here, which is crazy because the word cryptocurrency gets thrown out. However, they've even stated here the lack of a central authority over cryptocurrencies, a government or a bank, has made them useful to criminals and scammers. Oh, here we go. And the designs of the computer networks that manage them make it hard to handle significant numbers of transactions. So here we go with the FUD for the cryptocurrency side. However, people always hate on what they're trying to become. They only bring up Bitcoin whenever they want to say what pitfalls they think it has and how we can improve on it. Sounds like another ICO, but Facebook has a lot of influence. And if Telegram raised 1.7 billion, I'm sure Facebook can get about 5 to get this going at least.
And you can see here in this article some of the comments. This is the New York Times article. Again, it was just released, so you're seeing some of these comments from 10:03, 10:05 a.m. One person, why would I want or need a monetary centralized fiat-based stablecoin? Someone else said, consider it an oxymoron. They block any and every link associated with coins, like speaking of cryptocurrency. Now they're creating their own. And again, that's our issue with it. We talk about the shadow ban on YouTube all the time, basically, because we know we have too much. You know, you talk about some of the keywords. You're talking about cryptocurrency, coins, bitcoins, and all that stuff is getting blocked on all these big sites, which at the end of the day, from a business perspective, they're a private business. They can do it. I'd rather you just tell me to my face that you're going to do it. And then as they block all these, they say all this negative stuff and they push all this negative news. And literally, as we say, Wednesday mornings, Thursday mornings, the way we get the new laws. Oh yeah, we actually got a Facebook coin.
Wake up, Facebook coin.
Everything you can promote on our promote on our platform now. We have our own, but
I mean, even Google, who's involved with this, they have the Bitcoin.
Oh, Google
button.
Coin is coming out.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Bitcoin button on the Google keyboard now. If you look at your phone, if you have a Google keyboard, if you look at it, Bitcoin is available. So they're not strangers to this, and they definitely are involved. Facebook coin coming first, Telegram coin coming soon, Signal, they all coming, people.
But you know what the silver lining is? Again, the positive thing is it's another base hit. to bring people closer to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. People are starting to see, all right. I mean, literally, we just had a talk yesterday where still the naysayers of cryptocurrency, which is fine, but again, you got the big platforms doing it, you have the big banks doing it, and a story we're not covering today, but even Russia, Vladimir Putin put out into, they released something on their state website yesterday for the government saying that by, I believe, October of 2019, he officially wants regulatory policy around cryptocurrency. So yeah. You can't tell me the United States isn't looking at it the same way if Russia is going forward with it. So speaking of countries, China's 10th crypto rankings are in. That is right. Of course, not much has changed. But
corny.
Right. China's state-backed tech work group has released its 10th crypto rankings report, placing Bitcoin in 13th. Actually, 2 places up from 15th from the last report. While EOS is kept in #1 spot. What else is going on with this Fugazi report?
Oh yeah, well this report from the CCID has been long wrong. It's been wrong forever.
Right. It's been wrong since they started.
It's been wrong since they started. We've laughed at it. The points that they use. We know anything state backed has
EOS and Tron is
like
#1.
Tron is #2.
Crypto Bloods happy, I know though.
And
EOS
and the index they have. I would be interested to see their because they call it the Global Blockchain Technology Assessment Index, which is a fancy way of saying numbers we just put into a pot to come up with a ranking. So total index they say is a 150 overall for EOS, which is #1. They also account for basic tech, applicability, and creativity. Just off creativity alone, Bitcoin should be #1 just because it was the original. Nobody had done it before, and the point system that they use is kind of rigged. It looks like
it still hasn't been hacked.
It hasn't been hacked. Applicability, I haven't seen anybody using Neo for applications. Steemit has long ceased to be big. Lisk?
I haven't heard Lisk name since 2016. Lisk was the last time it was up top.
I don't even know what that.
Somebody got an investor in there.
Yeah, somebody does. And I feel like some of these other coins have airdrops coming soon, and that they have Chinese investors backing it. But I believe you can see where the support for EOS is coming from. And I would not bet against China. Any coin that they like will. They're gonna get money. Well, they're gonna get some money.
Well, speaking of which, I'm interested because. Like any other industry or any other market, a lot of people in cryptocurrency do know each other. You talk about conferences or different projects people worked around. Something had to happen between EOS and Neo behind the scenes, and I say that because Neo was China's little baby for a while, and for them to literally flip them from one of the top coins to the 10th, and then put EOS up front, as one of our commentators just said. EOS must have been paying them, which is pretty funny.
Oh, man. And this comes a day after someone just actually got $7 million worth of EOS hacked from them because of a failed update from a block producer.
Wow.
A failed update. Literally, if you are in the Bitcoin community and you don't update your software, that does not affect Bitcoin as a whole. If you're EOS and you're one of the 2 or 3 validators they have and you don't update the software, then you can have yourself susceptible to hacks, which happened yesterday. This happened yesterday, then today they come out as the #1 coin on China, so you can see this list. It's Fugazi.
Shout out to what's his name? Justin Sun with Tron. You knew he was gonna look new. They got new right next to it too.
New.
Look, Justin Ma was like, look, we are going full court press. We got Kobe Bryant talking at cryptocurrency conferences. Has nothing to do with nothing.
What is GX Chain?
Let's get this coin up. That's crazy. I haven't seen Lisk in a while.
Yeah, and GX Chain, I tried to Google GX Chain and something else came up. Like, what is? I mean, they
I
really
never heard about GX Chain.
Never heard of that, but
that's pump and dump, baby.
If
Why
you want to get some quick get some quick money, give it to China and they'll put you on their rankings.
Raw Star Mon said win Lambo when we were talking about the Facebook coin. That's pretty funny. What's going on, Tim? Tony Nolly. Cornelius, Kevin Hodges talking about the Facebook coin again. Said 2 months later, headline says Zuckerberg arrested for selling Facebook member keys. I could see that.
Oh yeah, or a data leak.
All right, what's going on, Evan? Long time no see.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. That is funny. Yeah. So again, crazy news, people. But at the end of the day, these are some good headlines. While they will bring in a lot of new people, these people will be uninformed. So make sure you are helping the community build, because people are looking at a Chinese story of the top 10 coins, thinking that's going to be what's happening next. They're going to be in for a surprise. Global demand for blockchain engineers up 517% in a year, says Hired. Wow. Something we've been talking about since we started was if you have kids or if you want to start, whoever, get everyone in your family into coding. This is where it's at right now, and this is where it will be. Clearly, looking at this chart, the global demand for blockchain engineers is up by 570% year over year, according to a report released by a recruitment company Hired today, February 28th. That is crazy.
That's ridiculous.
You're talking about, I mean, again, we talk about these percentage swings, 570%. That's like saying we got the space race going on again with Russia, you know. So
yeah, and this is only going to increase over time. I think, of course, you know, there won't be as many once we get to that point. However, software engineers were second, and software has been around for a long time. And software actually had 132% growth in jobs, and engineers as a whole were over 70%. So one of the biggest things you want to see is it's not too late. Some people think, well, if I start now and may miss the boat, like, no. This blockchain development, I believe, will probably increase even more once you have companies, like I said, Facebook, JP Morgan. You'll have other people jump on board, and they'll be like, look, we need blockchain engineers. Who knows what they're talking about? And it'll expand way more than it has now. Right now, the highest salaries are around 155K. I have seen some blockchain senior.
That's on average, though. That's
making,
the average one.
Yeah, making 300 easy. And I know a lot of engineers who are coming out of college just for software security. They're making good money. But with blockchain engineers, if you have somebody in college right now or in an engineering program, one of the things you want to try and push them towards is blockchain, because if they know what they're doing blockchain, they could almost double their salary on the entry level position, just because they have this information. And then long term, the people who know about blockchain 10 years from now, they'll be looked at as the people who were building websites in 95. They were basically like, they were regarded as geniuses. However, they just started early enough and they worked at it for years. So I'm glad to see this demand coming, and it's only gonna grow. Shout out to them.
There's a commenter here who's saying, you know, not surprising, actually is already expected as well. When you have everyone getting into blockchain, like banks, social media, defense companies, and a lot more, I mean, that kind of sums up. You know, we had a tax consultant on a couple of days ago, Rebecca, and she, I mean, you think about taxes. That's literally a new industry. Lawyers for blockchain and cryptocurrency. I mean, literally everything under the sun, every industry out there will have to submit eventually to technology, and this is a good thing. So, again, it isn't too late. I mean, we would definitely suggest if you have children, get them involved in coding, like the same way you have some of your kids involved in sports, like have them that active in coding and developing. Yeah. And then if you're older and adult as well, it's not even about having degrees, it's about having certifications. People, within the last year, I've learned to code myself. So, I mean, it's literally just going online, trying to figure out the information, taking courses and classes nearby. But this is where it's at. And I mean, up 517% again for one. We talk about security engineering, 132%. This is the future as we know it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was going to say security is a big thing too. There's no point in having a great project if you can't secure it. So,
and it's kind of like we talk about the fast food here. I mean, like the Burger Kings, McDonald's around Los Angeles, they all have the kiosks. The little, you go up there and touch them. So, I mean, when it comes to maintenance, they're not gonna hire more people to stand at the counter. They're gonna hire people who know how to go who can open up this little machine we have to place orders and fix it for us.
Oh yeah, who can put burgers on the blockchain?
Right, exactly.
Who can keep our milkshake machine fixed for longer than 24 hours?
This is crazy. Again, you can see these numbers on our YouTube. Global demand for blockchain engineering, 517% up. Search engineers in San Francisco are paid the most, earning $157,000 on average. Looks like TypeScript is the most in-demand programming language in San Francisco, London, Toronto. Right. While Ruby is the #1 in New York, and Go is the #1 in Paris. Look, here it is right here. 1 in 5 software engineers are self-taught. Again, we just said it. Google, YouTube, people. Machine learning is the #1 technology engineers want to learn, and have engineers prefer to work at a company that does pair programming.
Oh yeah!
Wow. Here we go. I knew Python, so I had to scroll down. Number 4 actually was Python is the most loved programming language, and PHP wins most hated. So
yeah, PHP is.
Those are both the programming languages on my list for this year to learn personally.
Oh yeah.
So here we go. Oh, and last but not least, 43% of developers, so almost half, prefer to work for companies that contribute to open source projects. We've been trying to talk and preach open source for a while. We actually, again, speaking to a group yesterday about open source. But this is what we're talking about with Facebook. When they say we have this secret room and 50 developers working on it, that's not open source. It's closed source. So right there, you're already losing 43% of developers out there, which, you know, again, almost half the developers are going to say, I don't want to work on your project. So let's say out of that 43%, one of those guys is the Michael Jordan, or one of those guys, or one man or woman is one of the Michael Jordan of developing, right? You don't have Michael Jordan working at your company, Facebook, because you don't even want to open it up to everybody. So how do we know you're the best coin out there?
Oh, man.
Think of it that way.
Michael Jordan of coding. That means he can't dress.
It's hilarious.
doesn't know talent when he sees it.
Oh, man. Thai SEC added 3 cryptos to list of crypto assets suitable for ICOs and trading. Interesting story here. It looks like the Thai Securities and Exchange Commission, the Thai SEC, has a list of cryptocurrencies which are only suitable cryptocurrencies for ICOs and investments in trading pairs. It looks like until now it had been Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and Stellar. And now they've just added Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, and Litecoin.
Word.
Now, this story isn't important because of their list of cryptos. Is more important that this is what we mean by slippery slope and regulations. They're now dictating to people what it looks to be seven cryptocurrencies that they're allowed to do ICO with or trade with as for trading pairs. We already know Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse runs this show there. Ethereum, we have Ethereum Foundation, but Vitalik. Bitcoin Cash, you have Roger Ver, or I don't know who it is now, but it was Roger Ver, Jeff Garslick, and what's some
Craig Wright.
Craig Wright and Wu.
Jahan Wu.
Yeah. So you see my point? You have names behind all these things. And we've seen some of these coins get pumped multiple times. We just saw the Ripple pump the other day on Coinbase. But they're also saying by state law or by government law, national law, you will use these coins. Slippery slope, people.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, if one country's doing it and their SEC is involved, you can best believe the U.S. SEC is involved as well.
U.S. SEC probably
put them up to it.
Right.
Yeah, they probably put them up to it.
They
were like, look, we want to try and be as organized as possible.
Right.
We're losing our grip on the control, which they really are, because at this point, when you have countries that desperate that they have to tell you this is what's available, they see the writing on the wall because they can see people, well, I can just use this other coin or this new project. And unfortunately, this is happening in Thailand. However, I do think that their rules that they have at this point, they're for the exchanges. I think regular, everyday people, if they want to use different cryptocurrencies, they will find a way. They always have. The human spirit has been underrated as far as being able to do what it wants. People always think, oh, somebody's in control. No, people will find a way, trust me. But this National Electronics and Computer Technology Center, they actually announced in January that they have developed blockchain technology for e-voting, so that all votes will be connected with the new technology. And that's important because, like we said, as a control factor, this is what they want. You can only use these coins. You can only tokenize these assets. You can only use our e-voting system. It's a very slippery slope, and you gotta watch.
And then let's go ahead and start taxing these automatically, all these little programs and projects. You won't even see the money leave because it's all digital.
It's all digital, yep.
And you can do less than a penny. It's almost like that movie Office Space where he thought he had the program thing to steal like pennies a day or whatever. He ended up stealing way more. But I mean, they literally can implement a program, some of these coins like this or some of these back-end APIs where it's like, every time you do a transaction, they take out 0.000001 cent. And again, while it doesn't seem like a lot, let's just say you have the entire United States doing it, 330 million or so people. That's how much money you're getting in a day. So 0.000 whatever, 330 multiple times a day. Like that literally would just be a capital generating event itself. So that is the issue, is a slippery slope.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You're right. Oh, here's some good news. Square Bitcoin revenue success contrasts profit warnings after a record Q4 results. Square said, we don't know what all these other companies are talking about. They must be lying on their tax returns because we have reportedly brought in $166 million in annual Bitcoin revenue for 2018.
Yeah,
wow.
let's give it, man.
Shout out
to Square.
That is
for taking a chance. Oh yeah. And they've doubled their money in the last year or so, Just with after adding Bitcoin as an option. I know some people.
Which you told a lot of businesses. I
told so many businesces at this point.
It's free to add.
I kind of don't even want to go back and tell them
right.
Because it's funny. I was like, if you already have Square, you can just add Bitcoin on there and people can send it to you. However, most businesses were scared because of the news put out, the FUD. That's something we're fighting on a daily basis by doing this show. But Square has basically proved to other businesses that if you implement Bitcoin into your business model, if people have the ability to buy it, sell it, send it, and use it, that your revenues can go through the roof. And even better, the person who runs Square, Jack Dorsey, has even moved towards Lightning Network. He actually stated that it's not a chance of that it'll happen. It's a win. If they have Lightning Network moving through Cash App, I can guarantee you right now that number will probably be double next year.
Right.
Because if it's easier to move it through Cash App and their fees are little to none, if it's like dust, less than a penny, and you can move it just as freely as you use Cash Now, most people, in my opinion, especially younger people, will look at Cash App and say, hey, this is what we're going with on the mainstream side. So shout out to them. I'm glad they're making a lot of money because every business
setting example.
Set the example because every business that could have accepted Bitcoin
Way to be a leader.
2 or 3 years ago, they would have had a war chest of Bitcoin they could have accumulated at this point.
They're still not understanding that. Even now to today, till to next few years. And shout out to them, like you said, on that for taking the initiative and not, is it safe to go do this new business idea or not? Will the market love me or will they hate me? It's like, this makes sense. It's good technology. But what's even crazy, we said the other day, like 10 million in this market. If you have 10 million today, you can mess around and have 100 million in a year or two.
Yeah.
Like it's literally possible. So, like you said, they're probably going to double that. You got 100. They're going into the rest of 2019 right now with an additional. This is in revenue, so we're not sure of profit. But let's just say half of that's profit or a quarter of that's profit. You're going in with extra millions as the market continues to advance. Let's say Facebook coin does launch on JPM coin does launch it. Now they have an additional $1 million they wouldn't have otherwise had. And they can say, forget it. I'll just throw $1 million on that JPM coin, see what happens.
Yeah.
$1 million get you another 10 million. Just rinse, wash, repeat.
And it's
cryptocurrency will give us the world's first trillionaires, people.
Oh yeah.
And the game will definitely change when that happens.
Yeah, and then I'm interested to see which trillionaire will be first.
That's what I'm saying.
That will count.
It's going to determine social policy, like cultural things throughout the entire planet when it happens.
Because if it's Jack Dorsey, hey man, he can run for president.
Right?
I mean, honestly, if it's somebody like McAfee's running for president, like I said,
guns is legal everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. It's all about who gets to the trillion first.
Who gets to it
first. Winklevoss get it to it first.
Winklevoss get to it. Same as always.
6'5", and
at least I know you can get away with robbery during those times.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying.
All right. Last story, but definitely not least. Not only because it's funny, but it's not. It's a serious but funny story, but it also kind of highlights the sophisticated scams we talk about in the space. But a crypto project that raised $20 million is caught faking its entire founding team. Something we have talked about multiple times here. People always say, check my LinkedIn and all that. People, it's been infiltrated already. We talked about it.
Yeah.
What's going on with this story?
Oh, yeah. So, this project was launched on December 2nd. It was called BHB. It claimed to offer Ethereum-based solutions for peer-to-peer lending. And they already accused the project of operating an illegal pyramid scheme, which we've seen over and over with USI Tech. We've seen it with BitConnect. We've seen it with, what was the other scam? ProofSuite. OneCoin. Right. We've seen so many. Coinsy. Yeah, we've seen so many at this point. It's just hilarious. But this one was particularly hilarious because, according to the web materials, alleged team members included a financial engineer named Bobby White, a blockchain expert named David Chen, and a product designer named Gregory Moss. The respective images of each individual were featured on their website. However, the image is identical to that of an economics professor at China's Hsinchu University called Alexander White. So this was a catfish of a professor from another country. The image of Gregory Moss is the same one he used as a philosophy professor at the same school, who was also named Gregory Moss. So basically, they just took somebody's pictures, catfished you, put it on their website, and they raised $20 million.
And this is not the first time.
$20 million, yes. And it's in response to these inquiries, both the professors, they said they had no prior knowledge. Bobby White actually said, any use of my photo for any such purposes, including attached to the name Bobby White, is fraudulent. I like that name, Bobby White. It sounds like
it does sound like cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too. It's
Bobby
cool.
Boucher. It rolls off the tongue.
It's smooth. Yeah, it's smooth.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of those. It's hilarious to us.
Nobody used Bobby White name with me.
Nobody used Bobby White.
Right, go ahead, my bad.
Ain't nobody mess with Bobby White.
Right.
Who used Bobby White? But his face being plastered on their website. We've seen this before. We've actually seen people do joke ICOs where they put up the same person's face in different poses just to see if people would sign up for it. And I think one project did that and they raised like $20,000 and they just sent it back and was like, look, you can get scammed so easily. Nobody even looks or clicks on the actual names. Every time I look at a project, I look for LinkedIn's, I look for past projects, I look for, past things they could have done with scams, because if they're involved with that, it's not a project I want to be involved with.
Right.
So make sure you do your research, people. This is a funny story, but they raised $20 million, so I don't know who those people
crazy.
are, but they coming for heads.
Yeah, definitely. Again, the scams and the all that stuff is very sophisticated. We talked about it before, but if you're just now listening, and shout out to, we got a new Mal Skepton. If I'm mispronouncing that, please write the pronunciation. But like you said, good job, guys. Got a new fan. Keep it up. Thank you, Mal.
Thank you, Miles.
But yeah, I mean, so the short version of the way these scams work, some of the more sophisticated ones, is almost like a Ocean's 11 type of bank heist. Like they will invest $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 into a scam. We've seen some fake companies that literally will have fake remote offices or an actual physical office location that they're just renting out. They'll hire fake secretaries, answer the phone, put up a website, raise a real ICO. Everything will look legitimate. They'll have their LinkedIn going with 5,000 people following them and different thumbs up here, wherever they do, certifying them, but it's all fake. So you have to make sure, and I know it's difficult, but you have to do these deep dives on some of these projects, or continue to use discretionary income when you do invest, if you're investing, to make sure you don't get burned out on it.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught out here with this.
Right.
And this BHB project, just another project in a long line of scams that have bit the dust.
All right. Other than that, what are we doing for the free cryptic coin today?
Oh yeah. So for our free cryptic coin, in light of this past story we just talked about, what is your favorite cryptocurrency scam? We've had a lot over the years. I know some people are BitConnect, but try and find one outside of BitConnect. If you have your favorite, let us know what you think. Put your cryptic coin address and we'll send those free coins.
All right. Other than that, you all have a great day and we will see you on tomorrow. Cheers.
Have a good one.